Is that working? I think so. Hi, everybody. I wanted to do a short video where I touch base about this week's upcoming topic. But even before that, just to let you know, I've been reading everybody's discussion posts, which are always super interesting, like the one where you introduce yourselves and say something about yourselves. You guys are a nice looking bunch. I'm always amazed at how many people take this class as like they're one of their last classes at UNT, like seniors taking an intro level class. You guys know that's not how it's supposed to work, right? Like you're supposed to take intro level classes at the beginning of college and then take harder and harder classes as you get to be a senior. That is okay. I'm glad you're here no matter the path that it took. A couple of you, but I wrote down Samuel. Samuel, good luck after graduation, you guys. This is Samuel's last UNT class. Also, as a group, you guys are really well traveled. Like Saudi Arabia, Chile, Cuba, Ghana, India, South Korea, Greece, Utah. I'll give you Utah, Jaden. The Philippines, Japan, Israel, Singapore, and more. And you guys may also be the most diverse class I have ever had, at least in terms of your majors. I just wrote down a few, but things like mechanical engineering, dance education, did not know that was a thing, but I'm glad it is. Biochemistry, English, interdisciplinary art, aviation, logistics, CVAD, biology, criminal justice. It's pretty amazing. I also think I counted 3 anthropology majors in a class of like 95 students. Nice job, Samantha, on making the switch. And then there's a bunch of you in things like sociology, forensic science, linguistics, user-centered design or user design. All those are really sister fields for anthropologists. And so, yeah, you guys, I'm glad you are all here. Some quick shout outs. Harvey, I'm probably the most jealous of you. You get to listen to 1930s and 1940s radio for your job. That is super cool. Zach, good to have you back in class again. Zach was in my anthropology and public health class last spring. Josiah, I need to correct this. You say that Texas food is terrible compared to New York. No. Texas barbecue? Like Mexican food? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and you mentioned Middle Eastern food. At least if you're here in Denton, you can get some pretty fantastic gyros and Lebanese food. There are like 5 amazing Lebanese restaurants in town. Anyway, enough said. So, all right, I wanted to introduce you guys to the next topic and maybe some of the big ideas that are out there. There are 2 short films for you coming off of a test. Some of that is from a PBS Nova documentary series called Becoming Human. There's a short assignment, not because I like grading assignments, I actually really don't. But more students tell me that it's good to have like something to look at, to sort of take notes on when you watch a film. So this week is a little bit more continuing about how we know stuff, but it really combines the stuff, the abstract, into 2 specific fields in anthropology, physical anthropology and archaeology. Because something that anthropologists are always interested in is what can you say about early humans and early human behavior, right? Based on either fossil finds or the material remains that people come with. Or that follow people around. So that's things like the shape of their bones, it's things like the shape of their tools, it's the density of the finds, it's the environmental context of the finds, and that can even include their artwork, right? So for example, about bones and behavior, it turns out that walking upright involves some really distinct morphological changes to your bones. So things like your leg bones and your pelvic bones, your shoulder bones, all of those become altered by this act of walking upright. So you can look at the changes in morphology of bones that happen over millions of years and try to understand, how, when, where, why upright walking occurred. So in the Gallery of Species section in this topic, I try to point out what some of these changes are. So if you like forensic anthropology, this will be your week. I also want to point out that at this particular time that we're living, modern humans are really the only primates that walk upright all the time. You know, other great apes will occasionally pop up on two legs, teeter around, and then fall back down again. But right now, we're the only ones that do that all the time. And that is weird in terms of hominin history, right? When you think of hominin evolution, there were past times where you'd have multiple things that walked upright on two legs and traveled around. And then I also want to point out that it was never the situation where one species became another species and then became another species, became another in this unilineal kind of fashion, right? That never happened. Most people think about, human evolution as this kind of like dense shrub. That's somehow a shrub. As this shrub where there were lots of different coexisting species, some of which most likely interacted with each other in some ways. So for example, Neanderthals and modern humans were around on Earth really close to each other, over 100,000 years in some places, right? So it's just sort of interesting to think about how modern humans kind of interacted with these other species, right? If you're interested in that, I give you an extra credit assignment that you can explore. All right, that's it, you guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I hope you enjoy the topic. Bye.